Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Enough is enough. Fearless Obasanjo drops bombshell amid excruciating hardship. See what is said about corruption in Nigeria. To my dear listeners, finally Obasanjo has come out to say enough is enough. To my dear listeners, before I go into details, can you please ensure you like, subscribe, and share? Now the details. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has emphasized that the multifaceted issue of corruption in Nigeria can only be effectively addressed if government officials embrace a culture of accountability in their everyday activities. Speaking during a Zoom session titled Boiling Point Arena from Abeokuta, Ogun State, Obasanjo articulated the necessity of initiating the fight against corruption from the highest level of leadership. He asserted that meaningful economic progress in the country hinges on tackling corruption at its root. Obasanjo underscored the importance of leaders setting a positive example to reflect genuine dedication to transparency and integrity. He urged Nigerians to unite in the battle against corruption across all aspects of society, warning that a nation that fails to confront this pervasive issue is ultimately undermining its own future. To illustrate his point, Obasanjo employed a metaphor likening corruption to a babariga, a traditional flowing garment. He explained that if one tries to fold it on one side, it will inevitably fall apart on the other. Furthermore, if it is carried on both sides, one cannot raise their hands without it falling apart. This analogy effectively captures the idea that neglecting corruption in one area will lead to failures in others. The former president stressed that combating corruption demands ongoing commitment from successive administrations, emphasizing that it should not be viewed as the sole responsibility of any single government. He pointed out that corruption is not a transient issue that can be resolved quickly. It requires a consistent effort that must be maintained over time. Once one administration cases its stance, corruption will flourish, taking root and spreading further. Additionally, Obasanjo advocated for a shift towards merit-based political appointment rather than adhering to the traditional systems that prioritize political patronage and tribal affiliation. He believed that promoting individuals based on their qualifications and capabilities is crucial for fostering a more effective and accountable governance system. His remarks serve as a rallying cry for both leaders and citizens to cultivate an environment where integrity is valued and corruption is actively challenged. Obasanjo's insight highlights the critical need for a collaborative approach in addressing corruption, which remains one of the most significant obstacles to Nigerians' development and prosperity. As the country grapples with the legacy of corruption and its impact on governance, Obasanjo's call for accountability and transparency, reasoning it as a necessary step towards building a more equitable society, where public resources are managed responsibly and the rule of law prevails. The success of this effort will depend on the collective will of all Nigerians to confront corruption at every level and demand better from their leaders. To my dear listeners, now we've come to the end of our today's news. Well, Baba Obasanjo has rightly spoken very well. So, but well, we urge the federal government, the incumbent one, to do well with the administration and stop suffering us, because all we are going through now is nothing to write home about, and the hardship is just too much. Now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by the comment section and let us know what your view is all about. Thank you for listening.